Hello, I'm Rick Harrison, and I want to talk to you about Prefurbia. There are literally hundreds of books just like these that do nothing but blast suburbia and then have solutions that promote more of an urban setting in the suburbs. But none offer solutions that preserve that suburban sense of mind, the desire to move someplace with space, views, and the perception of affordability. This is why 20 years ago we came up with Prefurbia in collaboration with Sustainable Land Development International to teach you about solutions that preserve that suburban desire for space, views, and literally greenness, but do it in an environmentally and economically responsible manner. That was 20 years ago. I'm happy to announce the 6th edition of Prefurbia that has been extensively updated with the latest technologies and methods that have been market proven to create beautiful neighborhoods free of monotony in a far more economically sound manner. But Prefurbia is much more than that. For those that are interested in the land development industry, it's basically Land Development 101, specific to suburban growth. Prefurbia will teach you about all of the waste that's common to suburban subdividing. It will teach you why today's regulations have their basis from a century ago that's virtually unchanged, but we don't live the same as we did a century ago. It's about new geometric modeling that changes everything. Everything you think you know about suburban growth for the last 30 years has changed. And this isn't pie in the sky in theory. Over 1,700 neighborhoods have been commissioned in 48 states and 18 countries using the methods that are prescribed in this book. Land use transitions in suburbia. Why is it that along all of our arterial streets we have the highest density, cheapest housing, cheapening the image of a city? High density that overlooks loading docks of adjacent commercial. Why doesn't the high density get placed to put the most people with the best views? But that's not the way the suburbs are designed. You'll learn why we have this dysfunctional transitional zoning, and by reversing that transition, create far more wonderful neighborhoods that preserve dignity while increasing overall property values. Did you know that since the pandemic, construction costs have risen 30 to 40% for land development? And yet all this talk about affordable housing, how can it get affordable if the prices have escalated out of control? This is why we need to take a renewed look at the efficiency of the site plan itself, where the methods in this book will teach you how we could reduce infrastructure anywhere from 5 to over 60% compared to the conventional plans that we are given before we design. It will teach you the economics of growth so you understand the importance of the decisions that everybody involved in the land development industry must make. In this new book, you'll learn about new forms of architecture, where architecture and planning merge to create better value that will last over time. One of the best books ever written on transportation is Traffic by Tom Vanderbilt. It's not by a traffic engineer, it's the psychology of driving, the real world driving that we face. If you read this book, which I highly suggest, you'll discover how many of these everyday issues are addressed in Prefurbia. So who is Prefurbia for? It's for everybody related to the land development industry, from initial students in college to every planning commission member and every city council member with a wealth of information. We're entering a new era where everything's about to change, and change in a very good way, both economically and environmentally. And again, this is the only book that offers real-world, market-proven solutions so that everybody in the suburban land development industry can benefit. This new book has the highest quality pages and printing that we could order, and yet the price remains the same as the old book at just $25.